When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish.
The podcast that's podcasting at levels we've never seen before.
Oh my God, fuck that guy. Just, is this because of what I said on Facebook?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God, fuck. Well, I'll bitch about that in a second. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
We're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today, we're going to talk about interior design.
Yeah, you don't sound too excited about that.
Well, as we'll discuss at length, I'm sure. I am bad.
Yeah.
At it. So,
that's kind of the episode in a nutshell, right?
Yeah. Episode over. This has been Gayish.
Yeah. No, me too. But I'm excited to talk to you about some of the facts, figures, quotes, and, you know, the whole rigmarole.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Kyle's thing that he just said. I went on this rant on Facebook because I firmly believe every time that motherfucker says at levels never seen before, you know which motherfucker I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just like he just has the short-term memory of an ant. And at levels is units of measurement he doesn't understand. Never, as far as he knows, seen before by him. And I hate him. I hate him so much.
It's just one of his phrases that means fucking nothing, because like it's when he doesn't know anything about what he's talking about and just wants to say something's good. That's just one of his go-to phrases.
Yeah, or bad.
Or bad.
Anyway, yeah.
Welcome back, Mike.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. How was you were gone in Japan for 2 weeks.
Oh my God. I Japanned so hard.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, we did. We Japanned really hard.
Are you fluent?
No. No. That's like the hardest language in all of languagedom, in my opinion. Like none of it is related to like anything that you can like relate it to, except sometimes, and it sounds racist, but it's true. You can just say the English word with a Japanese accent and like about half the time they'll get it. They'll understand.
Oh, gotcha. Did you have a good time?
It was great. Yes. I'm very glad to be home. I think that's a little bit too long of a trip, but we saw lots of awesome things. It was wonderful. The food was fantastic. It was good people. It was amazing.
Great. I'm glad you had a good time. And I'm also glad that you're back. I'm glad we do our normal shtick this week.
Thanks for holding down the ship while I was gone, kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Derek did a great job.
He was okay.
He did okay. Sarah was amazing as usual.
Yeah, she was great. Yeah. Okay. I'm back. We did that. We did that part. We talked about that. Okay.
Check.
What do we do? How do we do this?
At some point, you got to lead us out of this.
Okay, great. Well, so before we talk about interior designing, feedback. God damn it, Kyle.
Do you have feedback?
Well, I have feedback. I was going to say that alert listener Mike Johnson, who is the good Mike Johnson, has first feedback. Yes, good episodes. Two good episodes of Gayish happened without me, and I'm not gonna worry about my value to the organization as a result of that. Number two, if it is within our power to have a good Mike Johnson, bad Mike Johnson celebrity death match, I will 100% sign up to kick that motherfucker's ass.
So we have one side agreeing. Why hasn't the other side agreed yet? That's what the media really wants to know.
Right. People are saying,
why is he ashamed? Is he embarrassed? What's going on with other Mike Johnson? Why hasn't he agreed yet?
Yeah. Fuck that guy. Okay.
Someone knows his people. Get the message to his people.
Yes. Get on that.
Get on that, listeners.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Oh, an update also.
Yeah.
So in my absence, Donald Trump got elected and is now like appointing people or whatever. And he invented a whole like new department of whatever the fuck and puts like his billionaire bullshit asshole friends in charge. So Elon Musk officially nominated to the Dickbag Fuckface Assholes Award.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So nominations are now closed unless you have anybody to add, Kyle.
Ooh, can I do that guy that gave
too
me
late?
my...
It's over.
Oh,
No. What? Who?
I was going to say the guy that gave me my coffee the other day because he was kind of rude about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jeremy. I don't know.
Okay, well.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't have anyone to add.
Okay, well then nominations are closed, and unlike last year, I'm not going to let people add their own on Facebook. But if you go to facebook.com/groups/gayish podcast, there will be a poll posted to the top where everybody can vote on 2024's Dickbag Fuckface Asshole of the Year. The nominees are I'm not going to read this list. I forget who all of these assholes are. So, but it's there's some good ones. There's some good ones on here, including both Mike Johnson's. No, that was last year.
How many people are on the list?
20. Nope, 21 now because Jeremy.
20. No, take Jeremy off. That was a joke.
Oh, all right. Well, okay. But Donald Trump was on there twice, and Derek put the note, not a typo. You asked me to add him twice.
Perfect.
That's great.
So go to our groups so that you can see all the nominees and vote on your favorite. Last year, Ron DeSantis won, so we have a history of awarding it to really big assholes. So I hope this year is no different.
Yeah, do it. Okay. Is this where we do 100 words? I think it is.
Yes, this is where we do 100 words. Mike, you were gone for 2 weeks. We've been doing this for 7 years. You have no excuses.
God, well, okay. Okay. You're right.
Yep.
I'll get it together.
Okay. Yeah. This is your notice to get your shit together.
Okay. My shit's together. At a certain level of
Shit's so together.
Shit is so together. A certain level of Patreon, if you send in 100 words, I will say them. It is the use Mike's whole benefit. And we have one that I've not been allowed to read in advance that's going out this week. So
yeah, nor have I seen it. So this is a surprise to both of us.
Great. A secret 100 words. Here we go. Dear Kyle and Mike,
hi.
We thought it would be best to let both of you know, but especially for you, Kyle, once upon a time you said your bussy was tired from birthing our relationship. Rest assured.
I'm funny.
Rest assured you can be a proud mother. After becoming the first relationship to stem from this podcast, we officially announced that we are now going to be the first married couple. At the beginning of 2025, we were off to LA for an unexpected courthouse wedding. With the unknown political climate, we wanted to make sure that we had a chance to do what we wanted to do, though a bit earlier than what we expected. We are happy to be able to share the news. Sometime in the future, we will have a full ceremony with friends and family so that all can celebrate with us. We, of course, always will be glad for the podcast for getting us together in the first place. For that, we would like to say thank you, and we love you all, as well as all your work you do through the podcast. Love, Dusty Sands and Mike Cuppington. P.S. We hope for a blowout on the book. Boom, 200 words. Oh, no, that was more.
200 words.
Well, so it's they're both super gap bridgers also, so...
got it.
Yeah.
They get 100 words each.
Dusty
and
Sands and Michael Cuppington. You say Michael Cuppington even though it goes by Mike, which makes everybody laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dusty Sands and Mike Cuppington. So they met because of the podcast and have been dating, and now they're gonna tie the knot.
Congratulations! That's so exciting.
Yeah. If you want me to officiate, I'm happy to not do that.
Mike, that was a very almost was going to be a very generous offer that you then reneged on immediately. That's so adorable. I'm so happy for y'all. Love is beautiful and disgusting, and I hate you, and I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Okay, so now the news.
Shut your mouth hole. It's time for your ear holes. News. News.
Kyle, I think this is the longest that we've gone without starting the news.
I think so too, and it's got me a little on edge. Or maybe it's all the coffee that I've been drinking. One of the two.
Great. Well, we'll do it quick. News the first. So, today is Sunday. We record on Sundays, everybody, and it is World AIDS Day today. And President Joe Biden is bringing the AIDS Memorial Quilt to the South Lawn of the White House. So,
do they drink iced tea on the South Lawn?
I don't know what they do.
Do they is there firebugs and they say y'all down there?
I think that's where they either pardon or murder a turkey in front of children that are rolling eggs with their noses or something.
That sounds about right to me. Yep.
So it appeared at the White House in 2012, but it was only a small section of the quilt, and it was displayed in the East Wing. But now they're going to cover basically the entire South Lawn with the quilt. It is grown over the years. It started in 1987 as a way to memorialize people who had died of HIV/AIDS at a time when stigma prevented them from having funerals. That's something we touched on in the funerals episode briefly. But it's now 50,000 panels.
Wow.
And over 105,000 people's names are memorialized there. So yeah, I mean, I guess that makes up for totally fucking us in the election, Joe. Thank you.
It's not his fault. He did his part.
Oh, he should have dropped out sooner. It's totally his fault.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I'm guessing that they're not going to do that the next 4 years.
I doubt there's going to be an AIDS memorial quilt under the Trump administration. He's probably going to start a constitutional ban on AIDS memorial quilts.
Yeah, that's right. Real America doesn't want that woke bullshit on their lawn.
Exactly.
Okay. News the second.
Okay.
This is, I think, super interesting and just nothing I'd never thought about before, but here we are. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has eased the regulations on kidney and liver donations between HIV-positive donors and HIV-positive recipients. So the whole thing is, like, the reason that we haven't been able to donate blood or donate organs as gay people is because of the fear of AIDS, HIV. And basically the idea is, if you're already pos, then why don't you take organs from pos people and let them donate them to you? Right.
I don't know much about the disease, but I just worry that there's going to be some like super HIV, like if it has built up resistances in one person and then I don't know, I like two different strains that then might combine and join forces and attack your immune system. I don't know.
Well, the HIV Organ Policy Equity Act says, quote, based on research demonstrating the safety and effectiveness of kidney and liver transplants between donors and recipients with HIV. So it is data based. Like if there were, if it was going to make super HIV, I guess it would only do it once and then they would shut it down or something.
Okay. The data says that that's not a concern. So they're going to move forward. We should use the data and not my unfounded fears.
Right. Exactly. But also, I mean, I guess the new HHS secretary is going to be RFK or whatever. And he wants to implant brain worms in everyone. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens. But I do assuming that the rule holds, and it should, because it is it comes out of a law passed by Congress. Anyway, it's just for now. It's
for now. Everything is for now. Everything is temporary. Life is fleeting. We're just a drop in the bucket of the world.
Well, news the third. This is not news the last. This is not. This is nothing temporary because it's about a dead person. Peggy Caserta, who is just an interesting chick. She has died at the age of 84. She is the creator of bell-bottom jeans.
Wow.
Apparently was in some kind of bisexual three-way relationship with Janis Joplin.
Oh.
And a lesbian. So she's She died last Thursday at her home, a cabin on the Tillamook River in Oregon, due to natural causes. She was born in 1940 in Louisiana, worked as a New York City-based flight attendant for a while before moving to San Francisco in the mid-'60s. And she was living openly as a lesbian when that was a rarity, even within the ostensibly liberal, though thoroughly heteronormative hippie culture. She apparently dressed the Grateful Dead and other musicians and created what came to be known as bell-bottom jeans. And she and Janis Joplin were like doing some banging. Yeah. Well, she also had a bunch of like issues with drugs, and she later regretted like saying all of that happened. Apparently, she had a ghostwriter for a memoir, and she said, "quote I received $2,000 for it, and all of it went to my heroin habit."
Yikes!
Yeah, but in that memoir, Going Down with Janis, she talks about their occasionally very sexual relationship. So
she's tasted the Janis juice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can't get over wondering in 30 Rock when they made her not say her name or use her songs.
Jamie Jimplin or whatever.
Yeah, Jackie Jim Chorp.
Yeah, Jackie Jorm Chomp.
Dude, but maybe we shouldn't say her name. I don't know. I just want somebody to sue us, Kyle.
No one cares enough to sue us.
I know.
2025 goals. That's our project, 2025.
And that's the news.
Speaking of people who are not going to sue us, they instead support us monetarily. I want to thank our new Patreon members.
Great.
I want to thank, oh God, I pasted this onto my paper and then forgot about it. Frizkakti.
Oh no, Kyle.
There's 3 consonants that don't belong together. Frizkakti,
So it's a Polish name.
Probably. PT Wilson nailed that one. Thanks, PT. And Zach Bidwell. Bidwell sounds like a brand of toilet.
Oh my God, I know that bitch.
Oh, hi, Zach.
I don't know if I should ask him if it's anyway. He cuts my hair.
Oh, homosexually?
Now, do I have to keep tipping him, right?
Yeah, you should do it more now. Wait, the money just goes around in a circle. Money is a flat circle. Thank you to all of our Patreon members. If you want to support the show, if you want to use Mike's hole and send in 100 words, you can do that. You can get ad-free episodes a day early. You can get bonus segments and episodes. You can go to patreon.com/Gayish podcast.
Do it.
Do you want to talk about interior decorators?
Yeah, let's talk about interior decorating. Are we good about decorators or decorating?
Decorator-ing or
design.
I'm more talking about the people, not the act. I would say interior decorators. What do you think?
Yeah, okay.
This was a survey request as well. So we did a survey now ages ago, and you all submitted ideas that you wanted us to cover, and this was one of the ideas. So I was talking to someone about this, and they were like, that's kind of low-hanging fruit, right? And so yes, there are plenty of low-hanging fruit topics that we have not done, and this is one of them.
Yeah, especially considering how fucking gay it all is.
It's so gay, and so that's we're going to talk about how gay this profession is and why that is, and our experience with it.
Well, I'm going to talk to you about the history of interior decorators, Kyle.
How exciting!
And I know you're surprised.
we had our guests have to come on, and they knew that they had to do the history. It's a staple now. It's just has to happen.
Great. Okay, so we do need to sort of talk a little bit about what it all means, right? Like in interior design, interior decoration, because like cave people like painted the inside of their cave with like stick figures of cattle roaming around, and does that count? Do you think that counts?
I'm going to go no. Painting on a
Okay.
cave wall does not count as interior decorating.
So at some point we go from that to Martha fucking Stewart, and there's a line.
There's just two big histories of life. It's cave paintings and Martha Stewart.
Great. I mean, the Egyptians, the Greeks, and the Romans all had styles of interior decoration or design that were just part of their culture. I think I just got back from Japan. The Japanese have a style that is very distinctive and prevalent throughout their society, but those aren't really what we think of as interior decorating either, right?
Right.
It's more of a like every culture has a vibe, and that ends up being part of the way that they live. Instead of, we haven't gotten to Martha Stewart yet, you know.
Right.
So
right.
The Dark Ages, same thing. Like basically, people lived in huts and like farmed mud or whatever the fuck, and there wasn't really any extra decoration. Where this is going, though, Kyle, is design really started with architecture. So it was less about like how you adorn your buildings, like the things that you put in them or the look and arrangement of things. And it was more about the building itself. The structure itself was where like making interesting choices and doing interesting things sort of got rolling. And including one of the people that I'm going to talk about, he's sort of on the cusp of, are you an architect or are you a interior decorator, interior designer? But where all of this is going is, you know who it was, right? You know who started the whole thing?
No, I have no idea.
The Victorians. It's always the fucking Victorians, Kyle.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense now that you say it.
Yep. So at some point, interior decoration and interior design becomes possible for the masses beyond just like the royalty or the ruling class of whatever society it is, when there is extra time and money to do so, and the availability of goods with which to do it. And all of that happens in the Industrial Revolution and leads to the Victorians as being sort of this first mass market, consumer-based, keeping up with the Joneses, having your place decorated in a lavish or at least cohesive fashion. So
the Victorians are where all of our gay shit comes from.
All of our gay shit comes from the Victorians.
Yeah.
And arguably, it's the Victorians that give us the profession of interior decorator. I'm going to talk about the super lesbian interior decorator who was from the Victorian era as well a little bit later. But before we leave this section, both Derek and one of my fraternity brothers would be really, really upset if we didn't talk about Designing Women.
Okay.
The television show.
I've never seen it.
In like the gay history of interior decorating or interior design, we just have to talk about Designing Women. So like Designing Women, the reason all of them were together is because they were running a design firm, an interior design firm called Sugar Baker and Associates. And gay men fucking love that show. Like not quite as much as Golden Girls, but pretty goddamn close.
It almost has that status because I've never seen it before in my life and I know what it is.
Yeah. I think I've seen like a few episodes while they were on in my childhood, but but yeah, it was on the air from 1986 to 1993, 7 seasons, 163 episodes, and it centered on the lives of 4 women and 1 dude, gay, working together at an interior design firm in Atlanta, Georgia, called Sugar Baker and Associates. And I can't help but wonder, like, I'm sure that interior design and interior decoration had associations with homosexuality before that show was on TV. It just, it had to have. But there is this very common progression that we have seen, that we've talked about on the show 100 times, of first things get associated with women and femininity, and then they get associated with any man that approaches that arena.
Yeah.
And I just can't help but wonder if that show is actually the confluence of all of those factors coming together.
It would make sense if that was already a stereotype, and then this show helps cement it in the public consciousness of any dude in there is gay.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Anyway, there, we did it. Due diligence. We talked about it. We can move on.
Well, before I talk about my Gayda,
Okay.
something I'm going to talk about, I got information on interior designers because that's what I could find the most Gayda on. And do you know the difference between an interior decorator and an interior designer?
Just that an interior decorator is probably from the United States.
Oh, no, I didn't get that.
That Americans almost exclusively use interior decorator as like a profession name, title.
Is that true?
Everywhere else it's interior designer, especially in the UK.
According to what Google says when I search for it, interior design is the art and science of understanding people's behavior to create functional spaces within a building.
That sounds like some feng shui Marie Kondo bullshit.
Well, but I think interior decorating is more the feng shui. Interior decorating is the furnishing or adorning of a space with decorative elements to achieve an aesthetic. Interior designers may decorate, but decorators do not design. And on
That's
Reddit,
hurtful.
on Reddit, it said because of the complexity of the role, interior designers are generally expected to achieve a higher level of education than interior decorators. And interior decorators don't require any formal training or licensure. Anyone can say, I'm an interior decorator.
Okay.
So I believe that interior designers and decorators would have opinions about which one they are called. And it sounds like interior designers is the more formal, includes elements of, like it's in the name of design of space as well, and may require higher education.
Well, should we really do 2 episodes, Kyle? One on each of them?
We can't. There's not that much to talk about.
This
It
ship
would be
has
the same
sailed.
episode. Yeah.
Fucking deal with it, everybody.
Yeah. It's the same episode.
Okay.
For anyone that's not part of the craft, we use them interchangeably most often.
Gay people also love that movie, The Craft.
Oh, I've never seen it. Is that
About witches?
Is
And
Nicole Kidman in that?
I don't believe so.
No, Derek says no. Okay. Okay, cool. She's just in everything. Zippia, a website that I found.
Right.
and has no more laurels other than it is a website I found.
Yeah.
It has a bunch of data on interior designers, and to give a little bit more credence to this data, here's what they say. Zippia estimates interior designer demographics and statistics in the United States by using a database of 30 million profiles. That's a lot. Our interior designer estimates are verified against BLS, I don't know what that is, census, and current job opening data for accuracy. Zippia's data science team found the following key facts about interior designers after extensive research and analysis. So basically, they're like, we're legit.
I do think that you can like make yourself sound legit by just throwing in an acronym.
We compare it against BLS.
Yeah,
whatever
exactly.
the fuck that is.
Yeah. Gayish podcast is highly rated by the VRL and the ITC.
Yeah. There are over 43,000 interior designers employed in the United States. And what percentage are LGBT, Mike?
30.
No, 22.51%.
Still way higher than you would think. Like LGBT is like 10-ish%, some little high, a little low, depends, and a lot of that's because the B is not big enough. We don't notice bisexual people. Bisexual people, we see you, but society doesn't. Anyway, so you would think then that if you just took any sample of a job in occupation, that it would be that percentage, unless it's gayer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this was more. So,
this was more. This was more than twice that.
Yeah. That's how math works, everybody.
That is how I may not be great at math, but I can double 10. Yeah. So when you look at estimates of the United States, it always says Gen Z is like the gayest cohort of, generations, and they're at like 25%. So interior designing is as gay as Gen Z.
Great.
There are 79.
Who, as far as I can tell, are not very good at interior decorating. But
Is that based on your sample size of one? Are you calling out your boyfriend?
No.
Oh,
Is he Gen Z? I don't know.
Is he Gen Z?
I don't know. I don't think he owns it.
Oh,
No. He actually. Well, we'll talk in the personal section or whatever. He's like way better at it than me.
Why is Gen Z not good at interior designing?
I think because they don't have any money.
Oh, got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The money is being hoarded by billionaires, so we don't have money to spend on like drapes or whatever the fuck.
Yep.
In the profession, the breakdown of men and women, 79% are women, 21% are men.
Okay.
That adds up to 100%. So there are 0 non-binary people in the profession, according to Zippia.
Sure. Thanks, Zippia.
Okay.
So this is maybe an extension of what I was talking about before, of like it's associated with femininity, and therefore the gays either flock to it or are also associated with it, or it's hard to know, like chicken and egg, which is the thing. But
yeah. Is it because there are so many women that gays feel comfortable working because it's a less toxically masculine environment? And, or is it because like, you know, everyone always says gays are like creative and do like creative kind of professions or like have good like sense of taste and style? Is it because it's that we tend to flock towards it? Or is it because those are more feminine things? Like, I don't know the cause, but yeah, this is definitely like far over indexes for women and also far over indexes for LGBT people. So at least according to Zippia data, all the rumors are confirmed.
Great.
Just some other little facts. The average age is 42.
That's interesting.
And if
I associate it with young people though. Like maybe it's because my realtor was young, but I think of it as being like a young person's game.
I think of it like a middle-aged lady that's like going to come in and
Martha
tell
Stewart.
you Martha Stewart.
We arrived. We came
Is she
back.
still middle, or is she middle-aged or later post middle age?
Is she more end age?
I don't know how old she is. That's mean. Okay. And in terms,
she's 80. I think she turned 80.
She's fucking 80.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Good for her. I hope I look that good when I'm 80.
82 years old.
Damn. Okay. And if we look at race, 82% are white. And if you compare that to the US average of the demographics of the United States, 58% of the US is white. So it far over indexes for white people.
Okay. I mean, that kind of checks out.
Yeah. So
also, it might be because white people need the most help.
I mean, not just interior designing, just period.
Yeah.
Let's see, 69% have their bachelor's degree versus a US average of 37%. So they're more likely to have their bachelor's degree. This is where we're talking interior designers, which said it required more education than decorating. So maybe that's factoring into this.
Yeah.
And without any explanation, it just said Oregon is the best state for interior designers to live.
Just period.
It just said that sentence. I don't know why. I don't know what they're basing that on. Did they look at where interior designers live and look at the highest wage in the US, it says, is in Sacramento, where they make
it's Oregon adjacent.
It's sure. I guess so, but I don't know why it's not based on income that Oregon is the best state. Maybe in Oregon they need a lot of help with interior designing, so there's more demand. I don't know.
Or maybe I don't know. Is Zippia based in Portland?
I had no idea. That's the Gayda.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, no problem, Mike.
I think hey, you know what? Hey, Kyle.
What? Hey, Mike.
We wrote a book.
We did write a book.
Yeah. And I think Zippia is in the footnotes of that book.
Oh yeah, I definitely call them out. So I got some of my information from the very well-known book "You're Probably Gayish" by the Gayish podcast, and chapter 7 is about like style, and I talk about interior. I wrote that chapter. It talks about interior decorating a little bit, and I pulled like quotes and stuff that I was like, I already did this research. I'm just going to pull from the same sources that I pulled from originally. So I referenced our own book to get this data.
Yeah. Well, and I think I referenced Zippia in the theater chapter as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Okay. Back to the show.
Back to the show.
We're back.
We're back.
Okay. So I want to talk to you about Elsie DeWolf.
Okay.
And she is, depending on who you asked, considered to be the first ever interior designer.
Interesting.
On commission. And she was born in the Victorian era. So the Victorians loved to decorate shit. They like put lots of colors on stuff and lots of adornment. They were like gaudy by our standards. A lot of Victorian sensibilities were, and she pretty much hated that.
She did?
Yeah.
I would think the opposite if you were the first interior designer.
Yeah, well, I also think that there is this thing that happens also in fashion of like you can't wear last season's whatever the fuck, because I'm also bad at fashion, Kyle. But like,
same.
But like you don't show up with last year's purse or whatever. Right. And so I think that there is this like, whatever is the current, what everyone's doing, that's old hat and passe, and you can't do that. But
I hate that shit, by the way. Like, I don't want to update. I don't care enough to like pay attention to what's like the cool new thing. And I don't want to have to keep updating my wardrobe or like keep updating my place. Like,
it's so fucking expensive.
It's so expensive. You have to like, where, I don't know, pay attention to the like, fashion blogs, the internet. I don't know. Like, I just don't care enough. It's like, we have so much going on in the world. Do you really need to buy a brand new sweater that matches this year's sweater trends because last year's sweater trends are old news? I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. But there are people who very much do care.
Yup, for surezies.
And I don't know if any of them listen to Taylor Swift, but we probably pissed both groups off now. Okay, so the New Yorker said, quote, interior design as a profession was invented by Elsie DeWolf. And she was really quite famous for doing it. Her first official commission was the Colony Club in New York. And she was a decorator / designer for pay from then on. Now, she had a lot of fancy ass clients, and she used fresh colors and a French style for furniture and accessories. God, Kyle, I forgot how to do this.
You're doing so good.
Doing so good. Fresh colors, French furniture and accessories, and we don't have to focus on her too much longer, but just she's the OG and totes a super lesbian. So
nice.
In 1926, she got married to English diplomat Sir Charles Mendel, and she called herself Lady Mendel, especially when she was running in social circles, but apparently they didn't live together, and when she wrote her autobiography, she didn't mention him even once. The thing that was funny about that to me, when the newspaper said that she was getting married to this dude, they said, much to the surprise of everyone in her social circles, which a lot of people take was just a nod to like, wait, you mean that carpet muncher's getting married to a dude? What the fuck?
Yeah, what's going on? Back then you still had to maintain appearances, I guess.
But the Times said, quote, the intended marriage comes as a great surprise to her friends. And
that's never a good sign. That's never the start of a wonderful, happy marriage.
Right. But apparently, because she had been with a woman named Elizabeth Bessie Marbury.
Elizabeth Bussy.
Yeah. And they lived together for years and years and years. So her partner, her lady friend, Bessie, was one of the first female theater agents and one of the first female Broadway producers, which is still a very male-dominated place.
Yeah.
Her clients included Oscar Wilde and George Bernard Shaw, gay.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyway, so do you know the song "Anything Goes" by Cole Porter?
Nope.
Okay. Well, Lady Mendel is a lyric in that song, and that refers to Elsie de Wolfe. Anyway, I don't know how many things are super gay that actually like have such a prominent lesbian involved. Usually that's some other thing. I just thought it was interesting that like she gets credit for basically inventing the thing and was totes a lesbo.
Yeah, it's interesting because like lesbians are associated, like the lesbian stereotypes are typically the masculine things, the straight dude things. So to have something be both a gay male stereotype and started by a lesbian kind of seems like two opposite things.
Yep, exactly. This is from the Wikipedia article. There's a section on exercise. Quote, her morning exercises were famous. In her memoir, de Wolfe wrote that her daily regimen at age 70 included yoga, standing on her head, and walking on her hands.
Wow, I can't do that at current age. And
I mean, either.
That's impressive.
Good work.
What a weird fact to include in Wikipedia.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, that's Elsie de Wolfe. What do you got?
I'm going to bring some articles and quotes that I found online about gay men's perspective on this stereotype.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, okay.
And for Patreon, I just talked about Elsie de Wolfe. You're going to talk about other women in interior design.
More the concept, not specific women, but yes, women in interior design.
Oh,
yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm sorry I misunderstood what you were going to tell me so I could tease it better.
Nah, that's fine. We got there eventually.
Great. Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the first article that I'm going to read, I basically grabbed some quotes that I really liked from articles that I read. The first article is the 2017 stuff.co.nz article by Lee Suckling, which, sorry, Lee, you were born with such a gay name.
Suckling? Suck what?
Yeah. The title of it is Not All Gay Men Are Interior Experts. A couple quotes that I have. First, gay men are so well known for their taste, retailers are even capitalizing on it. If you are so inclined, for example, you can buy furnishings and homewares actually owned by gay men at the website previously owned by a gayman.com.
What?
Yeah. So apparently
it doesn't work. There now.
No, it doesn't work.
What?
It doesn't work. Sorry. I tried to go to this website. It's not there. But so apparently at one point, this was a thing that you could go and buy stuff previously owned by a gay man at previously-owned-by-a-gayman.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry to burst your bubble, but yeah.
I opened up a browser and it says Uranus is weirder than we thought. Great.
A little pointed.
Yeah.
So gay men are so well known for having good taste that someone may seek out something that was owned by a gay man because it has our stink of good, good taste on it, which is wild.
It must be good.
Yeah. And we talked about the, women, anything that is associated with women then is associated with men. And so in the same vein, quote, homes and gardens are seen as the domain of the female. Our patriarchal culture treats women as less than men in general. By characterizing gay males into having feminine interests like interior design, society puts them on a lower tier in terms of status and value, just like it does women.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you agree
Well,
with
there's
that?
also, I think, I mean, I don't agree with it personally, but like I agree that that is a thing that happens.
That society does that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I had this thought about how like hunters and gatherers, how men are supposed to be the hunters and women are supposed to be the gatherers, and that's like the gardening thing. But also that got me thinking about nesting. There's this like actually both bullshit, like sociological, anthropological belief that because women are the caretakers of the children, they're the ones that do the nesting, they're the ones that take care of the home, and therefore what the place looks like and how it functions is their domain. And I think that same bullshit is used against gay men as an argument of why they shouldn't be allowed to raise children. Every child deserves a mother. That horseshit comes from the same sort of thinking. But the associations are definitely there. Yeah. And I think that those waters run deep in the culture.
Yeah, for sure. The next article I have is a 2016 article on independent.co.uk by Adam Lusher. The title is Stereotyping Gay Men as Stylish and Witty Prevents People from Seeing Them as Proper Individuals. And he talked to Ashley Brooks, a psychology researcher at Anglia Ruskin University. And Ashley says, quote, these overly positive attitudes, which you see a lot in the media, that gay men are particularly fashion conscious and witty and a women's gay best friend, can be extremely pressurizing. It can be particularly harmful for young people, adolescents who are less secure in their identity, who might feel they have to live up to the stereotype. And because these attitudes appear positive, they gain widespread acceptance and remain unchallenged, despite their potential to cause long-term damage. And I think it's so true that because a stereotype is positive, we tend to embrace it. Like, we know that negative stereotypes are bad. Like, don't negatively stereotype someone. But when it's a positive thing, then we think it's good, and therefore it's okay to perpetuate that, even though it still can be shitty for people.
Yep. What if you're an Asian that's bad at math? What if you're a black guy that doesn't have a giant penis? What, like these things that are quote unquote positive stereotypes of groups that aren't universal and might not even be true as an average, then become a deep source of insecurity and shame for people that are in that group that don't fit what's expected.
Yeah. And I think the title is true that then you start to see them as, like, rather than the individual that has their individual tastes, needs, wants, desires, goals, life, etc. You see them as a caricature of who they are. And I played into this. I know that when I first came out, it's not that all of a sudden I was my authentic self. I came out and I was like, cool, now I am who I am. And I'm Kyle. And I'm like, I had built up these years of pretending to be who other people wanted me to be. And when I came out as gay, that was a step in the right direction, but I still was who I thought people wanted me to be, which was a gay stereotype. And so, I pretended like I didn't know the rules to sports, and I, tried to pretend I wanted to pretend like I cared about fashion and all that stuff. Like I felt the need to like fit into the expectations of me. And so I think some of these positive stereotypes make it harder to be your authentic self and make, like you said, make you feel bad when you're not those things.
Yep.
The novelist and cultural commentator Paul Burston is also quoted in this article. He says, quote, the assumption that gay men have the monopoly on being stylish and witty is terribly unfair to straight men. Some gay men are very, very boring and very badly dressed.
Yes. I'm right here.
I know. I have a name. Yeah, for sure. And I also, speaking of straight men, it must suck to be a straight man that's like very stylish, always getting the assumption that you're gay. Like, I don't know. I could just see that being a deterrent to straight men who are stylish from embracing their true identity of being super stylish and decorating their home well and all that stuff, because then people might label them as gay.
Well, or like that's when metrosexual got invented as a concept, right? Because we couldn't not acknowledge that it had something to do with their sexuality.
Yeah, exactly.
Barf.
The last article is a 2023 Slate article by Rhodes Murphy. The title is called Gay Men. It's time to let ourselves be slobs.
Yeah.
The subtitle is I'm done letting the
One of us.
Yep. The subtitle is I'm done letting the stereotype of the tidy, tasteful homosexual get in the way of my messy, unmanicured joy. The article starts like this, quote, "You know that meme that's always popping up on gay Instagram? The one about how if his room looks like this being a dingy, menacing cell with uncovered mattress on the floor, dirty clothes strewn about, and an overturned lamp in the corner. You know the dick is going to be good? You know this meme, don't you?"
I forget if I talked about it on the show or just made the joke. Like, in the process of moving, I couldn't figure out how to put our bed back together. So we slept on a mattress on the floor for a couple of weeks. And it was like, oh, we're both tops now.
I think that was your straightest 1 week.
Yeah. Like, and
Yeah.
But that is the thing. A mattress on the floor, that's a top.
Yeah. And to further connect that, top is the more masculine thing, which is more connected to heterosexuality. Like the bottom thing to do, which is more feminine, is to be good at interior design.
God, it's so heteronormative.
Yeah.
Just take a dick, everybody.
Hey, everyone, including straight dudes. To continue the quote, you'd think it would make having a messy living space a badge of honor, but not for me. More than once in the past year, I've turned down a hookup out of embarrassment about the state of my room, and I rarely feel comfortable hosting social gatherings or inviting new acquaintances to my apartment for fear of the less than stellar impression it might give. As a gay man, the cleanliness of my home and tastefulness of its decor have increasingly become a source of anxiety and shame.
Yeah.
And I very much relate to this because I find it hard to let people into my physical living space for fear of like judgment. I think it's like it's very much a metaphor, letting people in to see how I live and who I am worries me, and I worry that I may be judged or ostracized as a result of it.
Yeah. Is that still true?
I'm getting better at it, but yeah, I still get like racked with anxiety when I have people over. And it's always turned out like I've been better at offering my place to host when we do, like, we switch off turns hosting our D&D groups, and I've gotten better at offering my place up to host. I still don't do it as often as everyone else does, but and it's always been a positive experience. No one's ever said like, "You live like this, I can't believe that," or "I can't believe you're trash," or "This is so ugly," or "This place is so dirty." Those are the fears in my head that someone might say. And of course that's never happened because I have nice friends who care about me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, allegedly,
supposedly. Another quote, "I worry that my periodic messiness, shitty furniture, and lack of design sense represents some larger personal inadequacy, forever hindering my social standing and desirability as a gay man who should have his shit together by now." And I very much associate, like, there's lots of things that I fear about my personal failings that I'm like, I'm an adult, I'm a grown ass man, I should have my shit together in this regard or that regard. And this is one of them for sure.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to say, right?
No.
Oh.
What?
That arbitrary timelines are powerful messages that we receive, and nobody is on anybody's schedule but you.
Yeah. That's a good thing to try to remember.
Like, you're not behind. You're exactly where you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. If I could only internalize that. The last thing, last quote, "I think it's time we as a community collectively decide it's all right that we can't all be perfect, wealthy interior designers or obsessive clean freaks. We need to celebrate the flaws that make us human, allow ourselves to be the sloppy, lazy, fucked up people that we really are, and learn how to work from there."
Fucked up.
Yeah. We're all fucked up in some kind of way, and that's okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So it was very easy when writing the book, it was very easy finding articles that where gay men talked about the harmfulness of the stereotype. So if you are not one of the interior decorating gays like Mike and I, you are not alone. There are plenty of us out there that don't feel like we fit in with a stereotype.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to talk about two different people, but now instead I'm just going to talk about who I think is probably the more interesting one. So,
okay.
Well, okay. So I will talk about both of them. I'll just do them. I'll just do it slightly faster. So Owen Jones is a dude who was a British architect and one of the most influential design theorists of the 19th century. And he was, again, an architect. I had mentioned before that that's where like a lot of stuff starts happening first, and it's the building is the decoration, and then later you like adorn it or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he is an interesting dude, but he never married. Which, if you've not heard me say this a million times before, dear listener, that's what historians say when somebody was a gay, closeted, queer person.
Yep.
But let's actually talk slightly more about Jean-Michel Franck.
Ooh,
or Jean-Michel Franck.
Oh.
And the reason I say Frank instead of Franck is because he was actually a first cousin once removed of Anne Frank.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. He was born in Paris. And just, I don't know, like jumping ahead, burying the lead, he also never married.
Oh.
But he's actually a big deal in the world of interior design and interior decoration following a minimalist style. And he also liked exotic patterns, specifically in veneers, including snake and shark skin. So he liked to use like wallpapers and upholstery that had these like patterns on it and was part of the Art Deco movement. Anyway, so he came into money. He was like a trust fund baby. And that let him travel all over the place. And he met in Venice. He hung out with Stravinsky, of music fame.
Yeah.
And Sergei Diaghilev. Do you know who Diaghilev is?
I have no idea.
He was a gay-ass homosexual Russian ballet teacher.
Oh, wow. Not just dancer, but teacher?
Yeah. Yeah. And there were lots of famous dancers and choreographers that came out of Diaghilev's work. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, he banged a lot of them.
Oh, no. Well, that could be hot if they're both into it, but there's a power dynamic thing. I don't know.
Exactly. But like he would fuck dudes and then make them famous. And did that for a really long time. Anyway, Diaghilev is an interesting cat. Anyway, so Jean-Michel hung out with them, but he worked with Adolphe Chenot, who was a decorator, and they put together this whole like school of thought around decoration and did apartments in Paris for a bunch of important people. Then he was a teacher at the Paris Atelier, a satellite school of Parsons School of Design, where he developed the famous Parsons table, which the table in my dining room looks like a Parsons table almost. It's a very square design that you would recognize. Anyway, there's no like, oh, he was for sure banging this person or that person.
Not confirmed gay.
Right, not confirmed gay, but he moved to Buenos Aires, Argentina in 1940. And he, right when World War II was about to get started, and he moved there to be with Ignacio Pirovano, who was a guy that he'd hung out with before. They were friends. They were business associates. They'd worked on projects together. And but he had his own private apartment in Buenos Aires on the top floor of the company, of which he was the artistic director in Argentina. But there were some like eyebrows raised about like his relationship with Ignacio. And but he said that he left Paris because of, quote, the persecution of homosexuals and Jews. So, which he was at least one of. I mean, he was a Jew, so he was probably, I don't know. Anyway, I think he was both.
Yeah, that would make sense, especially if you said that that you left for those reasons. That would make sense then.
Yep. Anyway, the last thing that I want to say about this guy, though, is that he unalived himself. He committed suicide at the age of 46 while in New York City. It was March 8th of 1941, and the Wikipedia article says, quote, throughout his life, Frank was troubled by loss, depression, drug addiction, homophobic taunts, and anti-Semitism, being a gay Jew. And there was a rumor that he had thrown himself out a window in Manhattan, but that's not the case. He overdosed on barbiturates. But he did leave a note, and he said it was written in English, which is weird because that's not his first language. He said, quote, I do this for no reason but ill health. I ask all my friends who have been so good to me to forgive me. I thank them deeply for trying to help me, but I have no strength to go on. I am too ill. And just this, like, I guess, association that, like, gay people are more prone to mental health and are more prone to self-harm and suicide, and that's not a modern phenomenon necessarily. That those struggles led other people to have those same issues. And he was one of them. So
I wonder if, like, back on the theme of interior decorating, like, I wonder if being in a profession that was so well known for being gay added to some of the homophobia that he got by being, you know, pretty. It sounds like even if he wasn't explicitly out, he was pretty gay and gallivanted with gays. And I wonder if that contributed to the mental health challenges that he faced.
I mean, we know that acceptance and a lack of acceptance, especially by friends and family, is a huge factor in these negative outcomes for mental health for LGBT people. And bullying is, you know, really, really destructive and detrimental. So yeah, you might be onto something. Yeah. Anyway, he's still apparently, like, super important, but, like, all of his stuff, there was a chair that he made that was auctioned off for like $200,000 recently.
Jesus, that's too much to spend on a chair. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's too much for a chair.
Yeah. But a banana that you eat at a press conference, that's, you know.
That's invaluable.
Yeah. So in the Patreon segment, we're going to talk about women in interior design, but what else?
I won't do my full Ask Reddit segment. I do want to read, someone asked on the subreddit Gay Men, and then deleted their account, so I don't know who it was. Why are so many homosexuals into interior design? And one person said, so we can at least have our panic attacks in a comfortable home. So that also speaks to the mental health challenges. We want to be surrounded. Our homes, hopefully, even if you're not good at interior decorating, we are more likely to struggle with mental health issues and challenges. And hopefully you have a home that makes you feel safe and comfortable and secure. My house and, like, my couch where I spend a lot of my time is like my safe space. So hopefully you have a space that no matter how you do it, feels like yourself.
Yeah.
Did we do it?
Well, we didn't, I guess we didn't talk that much about our own, like, stuff. We did here and there, but would you say that you have a style, Kyle?
Basic. I have a basic, plain. I look plain. I look generic. My style is easy.
Have you ever had anybody, like, do it for you, decorate for you?
No. Yeah, everything in my place is something that I've bought myself or hung up myself so I've done it all. So I don't know, I think my place looks fine. I care more about functionality of stuff than the look of it.
Same.
So, things that I've bought are because I had a specific need, other than like the floating shelves that I have. I just thought I needed a touch of something. So there's a little bit of desire for style and interior decorating, but I don't think I'm that good at it. What about you? Do you think you have a style?
No,
You bought a
don't.
new home. You have to do all of it. You have to decorate the whole thing.
Well, sure. And there's boxes and boxes of my shit from before to go through and figure out what goes where and whether to like it there, move it somewhere else. But not kidding. I mostly just make other people do things for me.
Yeah.
Like roommates, spouses, like other people who have better sensibilities about these things do them. And that's already happening with boyfriend. Like he has a really good eye for stuff and a good thought about how it should look, and then can actually go and make it happen. And I'm very grateful for that, because in the absence of that, I don't know, it would just be function over form. And like, I know that doesn't look good. I don't like the way that looks either, but I don't know that I have any sort of ability or compulsion to improve it.
Yeah. That's really frustrating when you're like, I don't like how this looks, but I don't know what to do now. Like someone with an eye for it could come and be like, oh yeah, that thing needs to move there. Or you need to buy this thing to make it look complete or whatever. But to just dislike it and not know what to do next is really frustrating.
Yep, absolutely. That's why I like furniture sets. That I've when I have had to do things on my own, it's been like, just buy the 7-piece bedroom set that'll fill up 60% of the room, and then who cares after that?
Yeah.
Because it all it's all going to match because it's a set.
Yeah. That's easy. That's a shortcut for sure.
Or just go to IKEA and find one of the rooms that you like and just buy everything there.
Oh, just buy the room. Yep.
I guess we did it.
Okay.
Interior design, interior decoration. It's hard. I hate it. It's stupid. I wish I was better at it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's stupid, not because it's actually stupid, but because I'm jealous because I can't do it.
Oh, we didn't talk about the jealousy at all, but yeah, I definitely feel like compare myself to other people and feel inadequate because of that. So yeah.
But is it gay? Absolutely.
There's there was no surprises in this episode about whether it was gay or not. We kind of knew it was and confirmed it was. We just learned a little bit more about why and how it makes us feel.
Yeah. Great. Should we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Let's take a break and look in the catalog.
Break.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
So are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, but first, our web...
Wait.
Hey, what?
We didn't talk at all about the Fab Five.
Oh, well, because they're gay.
Yeah. I guess it all feeds into they helped perpetuate the idea that gay men need to be interior designers and also stylish and classy and fancy and all that shit.
But also wasn't just only one. Wasn't it Bobby Burke on the new one, and on the old one it was that other gay? And
yeah. There's one dude that does interior designing or decorating or whatever. But
yeah,
they all kind of perpetuated this idea that you have to be a fancy lad.
That's absolutely true.
Anyway, I thought we should at least mention this on this episode.
Yeah, good work. Good work,
Okay.
Kyle.
I did it.
I approve.
Okay.
Well, fine. Local gay bar review.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. This week I'm going to talk about the Banana Room Club in Bangkok, Thailand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Here's what I wrote. This is one of the ones where I'm just going to read what I wrote in that moment.
Perfect.
I love boobs.
What?
This is not a knock on knockers. This was marketed as a strip club go-go bar, at least to me. But here I am. The singing is fake, but the boobs are real. 2 dildos.
I don't understand. Were you in a straight place? Is this a gay bar? Is this a local straight bar review?
I was told, go to this place. There are hot shirtless boys. It's a go-go bar. And I went in, and it was what appeared to me to be cis ladies lip syncing. And
weird.
It was weird.
Huh.
Maybe I was just there in the wrong time. Maybe I misunderstood the person who was telling me to go there. Maybe I went to the wrong place and this isn't where they meant. I don't know, but it happened, and that's what I wrote down.
Why does it get 2? Where did the 2 come from?
Oh, the booze was actually surprisingly cheap.
Oh, great. That's ideal. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Our website is gayishpodcast.com.
We are on social media at Gayish Podcast, or if you want to join our Facebook group where you can vote on the Dickbag Fuckface Asshole Awards, that's at facebook.com/group/Gayish Podcast, or find all of our communities at gayishpodcast.com/contact.
Yeah, our hotline. You can send us text messages or leave us voicemails, especially if it's your gayest and straightest, because we love those. Is 585-5-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
Our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
And our physical mailing address is Post Office Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109.
Gayest and straightest?
Yeah, gayest and straightest. I will go first.
Okay, do it.
Okay, great. So the gayest thing about me this week was being in Japan and being at an arcade and saying to one of the people that I was traveling with, you have to buy that for me right now. And it is this, it's supposed to be a mushroom. It is very much a penis.
Yeah, it's like the right. Okay, well, when you grab it like that too, it's very phallic. It has a head. It's long and skinny.
Yeah, and it's like a squishy one. Like it squish. It's so it's flaccid, but like a flaccid dick that big would be like impressive.
Good for you. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah.
Nice.
And then the straightest thing about me this week is just like all of the furniture construction I've done in the last 24 hours. So put together the bed, put together the chairs for the dining room table, put together part of the dining room table, the bench for it. It's just like it's nonstop up in here. I am straight guy.
Look at you go.
How about you, Kyle?
How about me? The gayest thing is that in a span of 48 hours, I blew 6 dudes.
I'm so proud of you.
High fives all around.
I'm so proud of you, but I thought sex doesn't count.
It's not the fact that I had it, it's the volume of it.
Okay, great.
The gay thing about me is that I had that much oral sex.
Was there a point at which you realized that you were trying to achieve? Like,
by like 3, I was like, tomorrow, let's keep it going.
Keep it going. Yeah. Okay.
When one dude,
keep
when
this
he left,
gravy train going. That's not.
Love that. When one dude, when he left, said, "Thanks for the service."
Fantastic.
Like, you're welcome. You know what, sir?
Veterans Day.
Yeah. Thank you. My straightest is my complete lack of interest in all things Wicked.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, my Instagram thinks I want to see lots of Wicked content.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't. Are you going to see Wicked?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen it. I've seen it in person like many times now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I could probably sing the whole thing if I wanted to.
Oh, please don't. I think in the theaters, they like play an ad that's like, this is not, they're going to have sing-alongs later, but this is not a sing-along. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's true. I think if I don't go to the theater, that will be why. My fear that like I won't be able to control myself and or other people won't be able to control themselves. And nobody needs that in their life.
Yeah.
Well, this week we have listeners' Gayest Straightest. It was an attachment to an email, which I just want everyone to know is totally a viable option.
Yep. It's from Pup Cobalt.
Pup Cobalt.
Greetings from Denver. My name is Pup Cobalt, and I'm here to give you my gayest and straightest. But first, I wanted to say I love the show and can't wait for each new episode. It's seriously a highlight of my day when I see that a new episode has dropped. So without further ado, my gayest, short and sweet, would have to be ordering a sex sling for my future dungeon so me and my pack can have some fun. As for my straightest, it'd probably have to be that my car is in the shop, and as a loaner, they gave me a V8 Hemi Dodge Challenger. For those non-car gays, think of it as the ultimate douche-mobile. For the man who thinks revving an engine at a stoplight counts as foreplay. It's like the car maker said, what if we designed a brick, and then slap a V8 engine in it, and called it style? Let's not even talk about the gas mileage because, of course, Mr. I need everyone to notice me couldn't possibly drive an electric car. Anyway, enough shade. Thanks for all you do. Cobalt out.
Well, Pup Cobalt, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
I
for
for sure Googled Dodge Challenger just to I have no idea what that looked like, and now I see it, and yeah.
I did not Google it, but I have a very clear picture in my head from the description. So thank you for that. And also excited about your dungeon. That sounds fun. Having one in general is pretty gay, much less buying a sling for it.
It's an aspirational dungeon too, which gotta have goals.
You gotta have goals. Yeah.
We did it. That's it.
That's it.
Thank you to all the Martha Stewarts of the world.
Yeah. Thank you to the straight male interior decorators.
Yeah.
You are you're a rare breed and good for you. And also thank you to our super gappers. Thank you to Locomotive, Simon Srirachi.
Hey.
Srirachi?
Sriracha's delicious.
Great. I am excited for you. Kaylee Adams, Kid Oliver, Kobe Gordon, Squaggle, Pip, Andrew Bugby, William Bryant, John Crowley, Yost Osel, Jonathan Montanius, Forrest Nail, Steve Douglas, Explosive Lasagna, Michael Covington, Just Jamie, Thomas B, Dusty Sands, A. Coleman, Chris Cagitatorians, and Jerome York. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your money, and Dusty Sands and Michael Covington. Congrats again.
Congratulations.
That's it. This has been Gayish from the Chris Cagitatorian Studios. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you.
See you next week.
Mike, are you eating on the podcast? Are you eating while you're recording a podcast?
I'm starving.
You can't. Did you really forget how to do this? You can't do that. You have to talk with your mouth.
Okay.
What if what I say
you
needs
were talking,
an urgent response? Okay. Okay.
I interrupt you too much anyway. I would think that you
finally a reprieve from that, and I just get to say my piece as long as I want. Okay.
Although I do think that Derek and Sarah were less likely to intrude, so maybe I should make up for lost time.
Oh, I like your intrusions. I think you give insightful and interesting commentary. That this is why we have a podcast together.
Great, thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, Gator.
Okay.
Enough nice things about Mike.